Your mind shapes every decision, every habit, and every dream that you have, which is why you could feel like that your life, your mind, either is like a beautiful garden sitting in enjoying, or like a literal war battle zone. And the sad truth is that if you're feeling overwhelmed by habits, if you're feeling stressful, if you feel like you're just not living up to the potential that you have deep down, you're not alone. So today in this video right in front of me, I'm gonna break down on this iPad the 3 parts of your mind, how they work, along with real life examples of other people and how you can use it in the same to leverage your mind on a daily basis moving forward from this video. So the first thing to note is that there are 3 parts to your mind. I'm gonna draw it out right in front of me right now. Let's make it look like an actual brain, right? Like a mind, okay? Now, you might know that there's a left and there's a right hemisphere for different things. Some people say the right and the left, one is logical, one is creative. What type are you? We're going to stick with this. On the top of your mind is called the conscious mind. Now, the conscious mind, some people say that it's made up, that it makes up 10% of the daily thoughts that we have. To be honest with you, what I believe in the way that I've learned, 99%, maybe if less, is the amount that we're using our conscious mind on a daily basis. Conscious mind is logical thinking. It's reading a license plate, it's reading a phone number, it's memorizing a phone number. Other than that, it gets way too overwhelmed and it's just not useful in our day-to-day life. Second part that we have in between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind is the critical faculty. We're going to abbreviate that. Critical faculty. Now, the critical faculty does 3 things. Number 1, it generalizes. Number 2, it deletes. Number 3, it distorts. Generalizes, distorts, and deletes. We'll get an example in that in a minute. Now, the last part, the biggest part, is the subconscious. I'm going to abbreviate subcon mind. And like I said before, with the conscious mind, most people would say that it's 90%. But again, the way that I've learned it and what I actually believe is that it is 99%. By the way, correction above, subconscious mind. I don't know how to erase on this. Oh, I do. Hold on. There we go. Like 1%, if not less. If not less. So now that we have that, let's go into the conscious mind and what it actually does so you can understand it and leverage it for your life. Like I said before, the conscious mind is something that we use on a daily basis to think logically, to make decisions, right? So we think. The example that I gave before is like the license plate is like reading a phone number and memorizing that. That's about it. Although I think that it's like so minimal, it doesn't play a huge part. The way that I would say a tip to focus and to leverage it is to continue to keep your focus on exactly the goals that you want. So whether it's in the morning doing a visualization exercise, the hypnosis, keeping track of your focus, where it's going, what you want. Focus on what you want in your life. So many times people get this confused and overwhelmed. What they do is a problem will occur and then their focus will start to deviate and they'll get off. Next thing you know, you hit the coral, you hit the shipwreck. Next thing you know, you run aground. So keep your focus on the goals that you want to have in your life. Now, moving down from that onto the critical faculty, this is where it gets really interesting. Critical faculty, I want you to think about it almost as like a handshake, something that's familiar, like crossing a border or crossing into another country. In order to get into that country, you need your passport. And once you give in your passport, then they go, welcome, you're in. It's also like, picture going into a castle back in the day. There would be guards. If you weren't requested by that king, let's just say, or by that lord, right, then you weren't allowed to come in. You need the right credentials. So in order to have those right credentials, it allows you to go in and then allows you to start talking with people in the village, allows you to possibly even meet the king if you're at that ability. But once you get in, there's also going to be villagers in that area, in the kingdom, right? And there's going to be people watching you. Once you get into a country, there's going to be security. There's going to be police. There's going to be cameras around watching you to make sure that you don't do anything bad. And with most countries, if you do, you're going to get kicked out or you're going to get in a lot of trouble. Now, for this critical faculty, between the ages of 0 and 4, some people even say 0 and 8. We're going to go 0 and 4 for right now, is when it is actually built. Between those ages, you have a constant stream from your conscious mind to your subconscious mind. Things are flowing in and out. So what gets programmed, these habits, these beliefs, is from your friends, it's from your family, it's from going to possibly even school, it's from what you're hearing and seeing on a daily basis. So those habits, those beliefs will become that critical faculty, And that basically tells your mind, tells you what is reality versus what is not reality. So you don't look like a homeless person on the side of the road going, not knowing what's reality and what's not reality. We've all seen those people. Very, very important. Now, to get through the critical faculty into the subconscious mind, you need that passport, like I told you before. One of the things that this critical faculty does is generalization. An example of this generalization is when I was young. I don't think anyone knows this story. You guys are getting an inside scoop. Generalization is when I was younger, I got trampled by a golden retriever, pushed down my back. Like, ever since that day, not anymore, but ever since that day when I was younger, I've always been afraid of big dogs. And I made a generalization that all big dogs are bad. All big dogs are mean. I don't like them. They're too aggressive. They push. Anytime I saw a big dog, I instantaneously got back into that shakiness. That's a generalization. An example of distortion is one of the things that Tony Robbins does at his events is he tells people, I'll give you 5 seconds, look around, find anything that might be green in this room. People go searching, 5 seconds is up. How many things in green did you see? 5, 10, 15, 3, let's just say. And what he says at the end of that is, most likely, all the things that you saw were not all green. Your brain decided to distort that information to make it green so that you could have more things. You could say, yes, I did it. That's an example of distortion. Another example of distortion is, let's just say, we'll frame this in a positive way, not a negative way. Let's just say someone keeps on cursing you out and they really don't freaking like you. But you keep on distorting it to saying, maybe they're just having a bad day. Maybe something's just wrong with them. They do it because they're playing. You distort that information to make it as, everyone loves me, everyone is my friend. This can be both good and bad. I actually do this sometimes with people if they seem like they're a bit pissed off at me. I just believe that everyone loves me. Next thing you know, that becomes the case. That's another example of distortion. Now, deletion, this example of deletion is, let's just say you're a pro athlete or a musician, right? A lot of this comes into imposter syndrome. What happens is you get this trophy, you get this acknowledgement, you get all this stuff, all this praise, right? But yet your brain deletes all that information. Deletes all the information saying that, yes, you are who you are. You are amazing at what you do. You're one of the most talented people. Because of that, you delete all of it. It's gone. And still you think internally in yourself, no matter how much you achieved and what other people think of you, that you're not enough. And another example of deletion is, let's just say there's a bunch of yellow or red flags with this one person who you're thinking of dating or thinking of marrying. Your brain will distort everything to make it believe that I love them, that they're really the one, that all these yellow and red flags are either yellow or green flags. And then everything that is not, let's just say green, it will completely delete out of your memory. This could be for personal relationships, or this could even be for business as well. So the next question is, how do we actually leverage this critical faculty for what we want in our life? Number one is becoming aware. Becoming aware of what your critical faculty does, the generalization, the distortion, and the deletion, and understanding that as a whole. So all the information that you're taking in, you need to become aware and understand that. Number two, like I said before, is becoming, and I actually have a hoodie on this, which is funny, delusionally optimistic in everything that you do, believing that you're going to be the best, believing that you will have it, and your brain, your critical faculty will start to program itself to see that. The top people in their industry, whether it's real estate, business, sports such as Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Steph Curry, Lionel Messi, Ronaldo, they all had they all were so delusionally optimistic that they would win, that they would get it done. Now, how do you know if you're delusionally out of reality versus delusionally optimistic in a good way? You set targets, you set goals for yourself in your life. You keep tracking them, you keep measuring them. Now, if you're not getting closer, if you're not hitting that goal, that target that you made, you're delusional in a negative way. You're out of reality. If you're getting closer to that goal, to that target, if not hitting it and attaining it, that means positively, delusionally optimistic because you're actually moving to that. Now let's go down to the subconscious mind, understanding what it is and how to leverage it for your life. So the subconscious mind is probably my favorite thing to study, to learn about, that I've done over the past numerous years. Your subconscious mind, like I said, 90 to 99%, in my opinion, percent of the time, you're using that. It's literally the identity, let's just say the settings to your phone, or the settings and mechanics to the way that your car drives. Everything that you do on a daily basis is because of a habit, is because of a routine, is because of something, even an identity that you have had in the past that you have currently. Picture it like this. You get in the shower. Most of the time, you're not even thinking when you're in the shower. You're just washing. Subconscious. You get in the car, you're driving. Next thing you know, you arrive 10 minutes later to your location, and you think to yourself, how in the world did I not just crash into someone? I was completely out of it. Subconscious mind. Another thing which is really powerful, I don't think I've told this to people, is have you ever been texting or writing out a message on paper, or texting or on the phone, and next thing you know, you put in the wrong word, or you put in the wrong name because you heard someone over there say a specific word, say a specific name, and it went into what you were saying, what you were texting. That is because subconsciously your mind picked that up and inserted it into there. Another example of this, giving you guys a lot for this one, of how powerful it is. Say you're at an amusement park. Say you're at a hockey game or a sports game, right? And it's loud, or you're at a club and it's loud as shit. Your subconscious mind has so much power. It's taking all this information, and because of it's such a machine, it's such a power, it's sifting through all this information and it's getting rid of the junk. As soon as someone calls your name, or you feel like you hear your name being called, flag. It flags, right? Boom. Subconsciously, it's listening. Subconsciously, it knows. So now the question is, how do you leverage this for yourself in your life? If done the right way, you can reprogram yourself to become financially successful, to become as healthy and fit as possible, most amazing, loving relationships as possible. And even if you try not to do it, you will still fall into that habit of becoming that. For example, let's just say Johnny is not the healthiest. He's going down a hole, it's not looking good for Johnny. And what happens is he'll get healthy, he'll get fit, but then he'll drop back down. Same thing, maybe Johnny makes money, and then he drops back down. It's a constant ebb and flow. It's a constant up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Why this is happening is because subconsciously, there's two things pulling apart. Now, I'll get into this in another video, but there's basically different values that you have for your life. Some people make all the money in the world, they get so fit, and then they feel unfulfilled because there's two different values hitting them that they're unaligned. So because of that, it pulls at them. That's why you see people make all the money, or get as fit as possible. Next thing you know, they're not fulfilled. So Johnny, let's just say, has two different values. So he gets very, very fit up here, and the next thing you know, he kind of settles down and becomes unhealthy again, or loses all his money. Boom. So now that we understand that part, that we have to align the values, become aware, like I talked about before, and align the values in our life, now let's talk about how to actually leverage them for our lives so that we can instantaneously make an internal change, and then there will probably be a delayed effect. There might be, maybe not for you, to leverage that to create the life that we dream of. One of the things that people do to leverage the subconscious is that they journal, is that they visualize, is that they meditate. Yes, you can do that. I do that myself so that I can become aware of what's going on. However, what I do with myself and what I do with other people, even just today and the other day as well, is hypnosis. Hypnosis, a lot of people get it wrong, is just, in my opinion, an altered state of reality. It's when you become so calm internally that your critical faculty drops. The border patrol goes away, and it allows you to access these deeper parts of your mind, of who you are, to create internal instant change for what you want in your life. Example of this is if you close your eyes right now and you visualize wherever you are right now. If you're not at your house, visualize your room. How many pillows, how many windows do you have? What does it look like? Picture yourself in there. Okay, now open your eyes. You were just in hypnosis. You were just there. It's almost like daydreaming, right? I've seen this happen with people on stage. I've done this myself. I've done this to other people. I've seen it done to other people where their memory literally gets wiped out. They can't remember a single thing. They become a different person. They have two different identities, two different people that they are. Crazy stuff, but also good stuff. Someone stopped smoking. Someone stopped vaping instantly. Someone became extremely confident, literally found their wife the next day. Someone made, I believe it was either $250,000 or even more after one session. Biggest thing that I would say with this is write down all the habits that you have, all the beliefs that you have. Then write down why you have them, where that came from. then write down how that's incorrect. Prove it wrong, then make an actual plan on a routine, habits, new belief, new identity. I've done this with people as well. If you want my help, just let me know, message me, of how to get to that. And then what you can do is you can hypnotize yourself or have me come in and help you, hypnotize you to have these new beliefs, to have this new identity, so that you can actually go on and achieve the things that you want in your life. And what happens is when people understand that the strategy, that the emotions that they're using, that the actions that they're taking right now are not actually helping them hit the outcome that they want, and they have to change it, that's what an actual breakthrough is. That's the aha moment of, oh shit, what I'm doing right now is not getting to me what I want, where I want to go. So I have to switch up the strategy, I have to switch up the emotions, I have to switch up the actions to get me there. And you can physically see it, you could literally see it in someone's face when they have a breakthrough, when they have a change. So there you have it. These are the 3 parts of the mind, what each one is, examples of them, and how you can leverage them for your life. If you're looking for more details, if you want to learn more, if you want to jump on a call, see if we're a good fit together to work with each other, like the other people that I've worked with in the past, especially today, the other day, and so forth, then hit me up. There should be a link below in this video or in my profile. Click that, schedule a call with my team. They'll talk to you, and let's change your life. And also save, send, like, share this. My biggest thing is share this with someone else so they can understand truly how their mind works, how they can take leverage over it and create a life, live a life that they truly deserve and dream of living. As always, guys, perspective is your power. So have an amazing day. Get after it.